Heyo everybody, Haku here with this week's live reaction and read through for Omniscient Reader or Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint. Probably gonna do 272 and 273, not sure if I'll do more, maybe if they're like excessively short, but they're probably not going to be. I would expect with where we are there might be a lot happening. Either way though, I'm excited to continue reading. I'm loving everything so far. I've mentioned it before, the series just getting better and better, so I feel like, you don't really need that again for this intro. So yeah, that aside, I think we're good to just start. I'm just going to discuss things as we go through. We are currently in the midst of the Gourmand Association, so let's see where that continues, where that leads to, what happens with the characters. I also must say I like the characters coming back and everything. I just now remembered there was one comment from last week's video I forgot to answer, so after recording, I'm gonna want to go answer that comment. So sorry about that. But thank you all so much for your comments and watching and supporting as usual. Either way, I'm gonna discuss as I read through. So, starting with 272. Hey, you're collecting the Abyss Stones, right? We need to gather plenty of them. Okay, and we're actually going over to, what's going on with Sangha and Suyang. And sorry, I was like, Sangha's chest looks weirdly large here. It might be because it's a lesser detailed panel, but I was like, they just like buffed her. Because we'll have to use those things to go south later. Doctor really told you to do this? I'm telling you he did. Stop treating me like some kind of scam artist. But you are one. That's such a good interaction. Suyang and Sangha. No, I should watch something else. He looks over. I'll kill him. Wow, even the title sounds third-rate. A Legend of the Returnee from the Legendary Otherworld. Quite generic. But it looks interesting. There's something about it that reminds me of TWSA. The main character speaks like Junghyuk, too. Legend of the Returnee from the Legendary Otherworld, a 1.5 out of 3. There's a rating system. This must be how they rate the stories. This is my favorite story. We have an old guy? Who is the old guy? He looks kind of interesting. He might be another incarnation, because if he's a constellation, that's an interesting design for one. He looks so modern. Is that so? It's pretty interesting. Right? You have good taste. Who is this? Constellations in the Gourmand... Oh, he's speaking with the constellation speak, though. The constellations in the Gourmand Association tend to hate this kind of mass-produced story, like the Ninth Circle or the Swordmaster. Are you the exhibitor for this story? I am. I present it every year. I just want more people to know about it. It's so great. Such an interesting story, but I can never find the words to explain to others why it's so fun. Is he going to, like, feel the same way because of TWSA? How everybody else was like, brother, how are you reading this? But Dokja just hit the perfect way for him to read the entire thing. I understand how you feel. That persistent constellation's here again. I heard he can't tell a good story from a bad one because he's so old. Seems like the rumors are true. Get lost, you punks. This story's not for the likes of you anyway. The Legend of the Returnee from another world, or from the Legendary Otherworld. It goes down even further to 1.1 out of 5. They review-bombed the story! Those bastards! I don't think the story's bad enough to have such low ratings. Honestly, I don't know why stories even have a star rating system. Every story has a unique value. After all, a story that's regarded as cheap entertainment to some may impact and save the lives of others. Again, I love this concept. I love the idea of that. Because again, I feel like everybody has things that are popular that they don't care for that much, or things that aren't well loved or aren't popular that they think are wonderful. You're not like the other young constellations. I mean, at least people should have that. I feel like if you're only liking popular things because they're popular and you like aren't liking anything because you like it, if there's nothing that you just like because you like it, even if it's not popular, then, that's kind of an issue, but I feel like there are people who are like that. You're not like the other young constellations these days. I'm surprised you have such outstanding values. Thank you. It looks like I found myself a good companion to converse with. What's your modifier? I was so caught up that I forgot to ask. I am the Demon King of Salvation. And now we have Chapter 45, The Gourmand Association, Part 3. The Demon King of Salvation. I see, so that's you. I have a face for the name now. May I ask what your modifier is? Do you like the coat I made? Pardon? I'm talking about the coat you're wearing. He's surprised. The Infinite Dimension Space Coat was what I received as a reward after killing Myung-Il Sung. And the constellation who created this coat is made by Mass Producer. Mass Producer? Yes, that's what people call me. Mass Producer. Whenever you're talking about the most influential constellations in Starstream, his name definitely comes up. Although he may not be extremely powerful on his own, his close connections to numerous nebulae as well as the Management Center make him quite a formidable constellation. Now that I think about it, when we cleared the 5th scenario, I killed the Mass Producer's incarnation, the returnee Myung-Il Sung. Well, technically Jungkook did. You don't need to look so frightened. I'm not going to hurt you or anything. I know what you're thinking, but there's no need to worry. Things like that happen all the time in Starstream, and I didn't have much interest in him to begin with. So, Mass Producer thinks of incarnations as mere tools too, huh? By the way, I enjoyed the story you created. The story I created? Yeah, you have quite an amazing knack for leading the scenario in an unexpected direction, and creating total chaos. I was thoroughly entertained for quite a while thanks to you. Of course I even gave it 5 stars. I can't tell if he's complimenting me or totally mocking me. Seems like it's your first time here. Who brought you? The Queen of the Underworld. He stops for a moment. That old hag? So she's finally up to something. I can't believe she'd bring a rookie like you at a time like this. By the way, did she just leave you here on your own? This is why I don't like the Olympians. Okay. We just have randoms in the background. I would actually like to see more of. Like all of these cool designs just off in the background. Come with me. I'll show you around the place. This is working out better than I'd thought. We see the 2 from last time. You probably know who that drunkard is just by his appearance. He's Thor. And that uptight-looking girl is Vakarin. Okay, it was clarified in the comments because I was like, I do not know mythology well enough. I have no idea who she or her nebula is supposed to be, but somebody in the comments said that she's an original character and the nebula is an original nebula. It's not based on any real world stuff. So that's what I think is the case. I can feel the other constellations reacting to me differently just because I'm walking around with Mass Producer. Can't believe how easily we're moving toward the center of the banquet hall. Alright, Asmodeus was a Gourmand Association member too. Where's he? Looks like the main event will be starting shortly. Let's sit. Okay. Again, there's all these neat-looking designs. I want to actually see more of them. And they've been gifted eyes. Eyes of the Great Ninth Circle Sage, Mervatos. This is nothing special, really. Look, there's the MC for today. Hello, members of the Gourmand Association. My name's Euphrosyne, and I'll be your MC tonight. Euphro, please look over here. I know there are multiple, like, Greek mythological characters that have sign at the end of their name, so I'm assuming she's one of them. Thank you for joining us, despite your busy schedules. I'd also like to extend a huge thank you to Immeasurable Austerity, who graciously let us use Oro Castle for this event. I'm sure there was a chapter in TWSA where Euphrosyne was the host for the Gourmand Association, and back then, Jungkook killed her, if I'm not mistaken. We have 2 main events prepared for you today. I mean, apparently that's how every memory of Dokcha's back to the the story of TWSA goes, oh yeah, I remember this happening. I remember this character. Jungkook killed them every time. Unless they killed Jungkook. That's the other option, I suppose. But before that, I'd like to introduce a very special guest. She's a prophet from Earth, the planet that's on everyone's lips these days. Give it up for Anna Croft. And then she takes center stage. So she, again, is making all of these plays. She is up front, like, with the constellations. Okay, very cool stuff, but we're kind of, we're stuck ending there for this chapter, but I get to read more, so let's go check out 273. And honestly, with 273, I'll be caught up in just another, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, so pretty soon, even if I only do 2 a week. So once I'm caught up, again, if I really want to read that week, I'll do a reaction that week, which again will probably happen pretty often because I really am very into ORV right now. Or if I want to save up a chapter, or even save up a chapter or two, I might take a week or two off here and there and let chapters build up. But also, I may do some more discussion stuff, maybe another tier list or something like that. One thing I do want to do that I've been saying kind of since the beginning, I would love to go back through the series now that I'm caught up and take notes on it and review part by part or chapter by chapter, because each chapter is usually not that long. It's only a couple episodes really, so I would love to go through and review each section like that. But either way, let's read 273. We have Give It Up for Anna Croft. She takes center stage. I see. I think I know why Anna chose to come to the Gourmand Association now. God, I couldn't ever like her, even if I wanted to. Dear esteemed constellations of the Gourmand Association, I'm Anna Croft, an incarnation from the Asgard Nebula. It's a privilege to meet you. And again, I really like how her character is so much more devious and serious. I mean, her character is always was always important, but I think her being devious and her having betrayed Jungkook so many times and Dokja being so serious about being wary of her just makes her so much more formidable. And I think that having her be such a formidable force, but not an outright direct antagonist, oh, we need to defeat this person, but just somebody that it isn't somebody we need to go after and defeat or anything, but it's somebody that we have to watch out for screwing everything up for us at any given time. And somebody who is competent at doing that, I think it makes her such an interesting character. Compared to a lot of characters that Dokja talks about from TWSA, when they show up and they're just kind of maybe an assisting character, or they help us do one specific thing and then they kind of fall into irrelevance or don't get brought back up again. That happens with a lot of the TWSA characters, but having a TWSA character like Asmodeus or Anna Croft be a serious, thing to watch out for, not an immediate ally or anything, but also not an immediate villain necessarily, just a factor in the story that the characters have to be careful around. I think that makes them so interesting. Dear esteemed constellations of the Gourmand Association, I'm Anna Croft, an incarnation from the Asgard Nebula. It's a privilege to meet you. The Gourmand Association's definitely losing its class. How could they let prey speak on stage? Brother, I mentioned cool designs before. You may not look human, but you look generic. No room to talk here. You are a side character. You are not even a side character. You are a background of background character. Starstream's going to the dogs. This is the Gourmand Association, a banquet for constellations who carefully select the most delectable stories. And the main ingredient for those stories is none other than fresh incarnations. Anna's standing up there, despite knowing that fact. I know I'm inadequate for this honored position, but I'll be your host for the first event. And then, what could Prey possibly offer that would interest us? Drag her off stage. And I mean, gone to the dogs? If they look like the one on the left, I would like it. Woof, woof. Now, everyone, don't get too worked up. Come on. Can't we at least see what this enticing prey has to say? Well, if that's what Euphrosyne wants, it's okay. The immediate shift up. Then, as I'm sure all you honored constellations know, Starstream is flooded with predictable stories these days. Returnees, reincarnators, swordmasters, ninth circle archmages, even prophets like me. They're all humdrum stories of someone who starts out with power that makes them stronger than others. Then everyone's listening intently. Today Starstream is a mere deluge of stories produced to provide trifling amusement. But things were different in the past. Do you remember how it used to be? Do you recall the distant ancient times when the first generation stories were in vogue? Back then all stars loved stories. Dokubis granted themes to the stories, and constellations explored their form and aesthetics. In those days, stories were in the realm of art. First generation stories. There's no way she'd know the stories of that time. And I like something that they're kind of getting into here with the story too, of the idea of stories going from art to commerce. Interesting. So, you're saying the story you have for us will be able to satisfy our appetites? I am. Today I'd like to return to the forgotten I'd like to return the forgotten first generation back to you. It's a story with none of your hated swordmasters or ninth circle archmages. It's a story with a clear message, held together only by blood, sweat, tears, and effort. That's what I've come to present to you today. Then, what ridiculous drivel. There's no way that kind of story would interest even the Gourmand Association now. Don't you think? I agree. And his shoulders grabbed. Demon King of Salvation. Selena? Selena. Please save Iris. Or Iris. If we do nothing, she's being let out with this other group of incarnations? Okay. You have to save the child girlfriend. Chapter 45. Gourmand Association Part 4. Hannah, how could you do this? You didn't have to go that far. No, I had to. It was necessary for the salvation of humanity. Again, interesting character quirk as well. If she's doing all this terrible stuff, but she's like, I'm just getting my hands dirty because I need to save the world. Don't forget, Selena. We've been tossed among savage beasts that can devour humans at any moment. And then, there definitely was a scene like that in TWSA, but it wasn't in this round. Again, things beyond what Dokja has affected have been, since the beginning of the story. We see that the effect he's had on characters and on the story taking place, but I wonder if there are other forces making moves, or if it is just some crazy butterfly effect. Because there are some things, ever since the beginning of the story, where even if Dokja hasn't affected them, at least directly, that we know of, things that have changed. There have been multiple things where Dokja's like, hold on, this didn't happen this way, or this didn't happen this early. And you would think that his meddling wouldn't necessarily trigger them in such a way. So I wonder if there are other forces at play. Selena, explain in detail what happened. Well, how dare a mere incarnation? And we have all the eyes looking at her. And she's being escorted off. I have a story, the story I have for you is the Fellowship of the Bracelet. Sounds like you're pulling a little bit of a Soo-young plagiarism here. Fellowship of the Bracelet. Is that supposed to be a parody of the first generation story, Demon Lord of the Bracelets? Huh, she wants to tell that dull story, huh? That story's older than the first generation. It's more like a classic adventure story of Generation Zero. The Fellowship of the Bracelet is a typical journey epic, consisting of 15 members who travel to destroy a bracelet that brings disaster. Allow me to introduce the Fellowship of the Bracelet, who will lead our story onward. And she's, again, just plagiarizing. She's just, not even plagiarizing. She's doing a cheap live-action remake. She's giving it the live-action remake treatment. Where are we? Anna couldn't have lied to us, right? Pull yourselves together. If we perform well here, we'll be able to secure great supporting constellations. I think I know what she told them all to trick them out there. That's why Selena came to me. Sub-scenario Fellowship of the Bracelet is beginning. The scenario can grant new stories upon both success and failure. A total of 15 incarnations will participate in the scenario. All incarnations must work together and arrive at the volcano at the center of the hunting ground. The Fellowship must carry the Bracelet of Power and toss it into the lava of the volcano to complete the scenario. There are many wraiths throughout the scenario. If all of the Fellowship is annihilated by the wraiths, they will fail the scenario. If the Bracelet of Power is not destroyed in time, they will fail the scenario. Oh, so this is the scenario she prepared. How intriguing. She must have been betting on the Gourmand Association constellations' sense of nostalgia. Yeah, really, she's like, I've prepared something interesting for you. How about a low-budget remake? I must say, it's not intriguing enough. What exactly do you want us to do? I doubt you expect us to just sit back and watch that boring game. If you look at the panel, you will see incarnations waiting for your choice. You're not seriously asking us to become their supporting constellations, are you? That is, of course, an option available to you, although I don't think it would be very interesting. Then, you may personally participate in this scenario, and have a taste of those fresh incarnations. Any constellations of the Gourmand Association may take on the role of a wraith on a first-come, first-served basis. Oh? What do you gain from this scenario? Nothing. I simply hope that you can be at ease and enjoy yourselves, dear constellations. This is true. What is the plan here? What does Anna plan to gain from this? Constellations of the Gourmand Association feel favorably toward Anna Croft. Even if it's just to win their favor, I mean, I don't know if it's the best. Now, the scenario will begin in 1 minute. So I wonder what it is she's really going for here. Any constellations who wish to join need only sign the selection window. Okay, so Dokja's probably going to have to jump in and kind of peace land it with switching up, right? Then please sign below if you wish to join. Current applicants 2 of 15. And then it's rapidly increasing. I need to find allies for the Demon King selection, so participating in this scenario is probably my best bet. I can become closer to other constellations by sharing stories with them. Looks like we'll be feasting on a work of art for the first time in a while. Doesn't that sound great? It's still just a rip-off story. Don't get too excited over it. Darn it. It's sinking in how I'm one of the constellations that I loathe so much. Current applicants, 9 through 15. Bah! And we have BU. Huh? BU? Another window opens. And we see Junghyuk's training. Let's begin the... Okay, never mind, not training. Let's begin the 857th martial arts competition. I hope it doesn't get off-screened, but it may. Or is he just being reminded of it? What would Junghyuk do? No matter how many times I regress, I'll make the same choice. I'll kill every last one of you. It's obvious. Till now I've always made a different choice than Junghyuk. Because I'm not him. In some form of defiance, I've always walked down a different path from him. Now he's going to be like, now I need to make the same choice. I'll kill them all. We have the reaction here from Persephone. Current applicants 14 of 15. He starts signing. And? Did he make it in time? I'm assuming, I guess. We have a wounded Iris running. Iris Vladimirovna Rebezova grew up on Tales of Revolution. Her favorite revolutionaries were Che Guevara and a young Karl Marx. But she was not born into an age of revolution. The world was run by the desire for capital and those who held that capital. At a young age, Iris realized that there would be no revolutions in her time, at least until the Dokubi appeared. What an interesting place! A world run by scraps of plant fiber. A revolution? This is the start of a revolution. The world can change. And we have blood splattered against her face from the other incarnations being devoured. Run for your lives. Save me, please. Revolution. This was supposed to be a revolution. I would love it if she and Selena could, swap sides and just work with Dokja now. How disappointing. We're supposed to scarf down such a lousy story. You're too impatient. Just wait. No one can stand up to them. So is this what all the raids end up looking like? Iris, run. Run away. Run. And the one who was shouting got grabbed as well. Where am I even supposed to go? And it seems like most of the 15 are just being insta-killed. Again, was this supposed to be an interesting story? It's plagiarism and they're just instantly getting killed. Please, someone, change this story. Like, without Dokja to shake things up like he'll probably do, this story would have been really boring and dumb. I don't really know what Anna was on about here. Constellation, Demon King of Salvation, is watching you. Then Constellation, Demon King of Salvation, wishes to sign a supporting contract with you. Okay, so he's relenting and taking her on as an incarnation. Alright, well, now I have to wait to read more. I guess, it's not going to be so bad a wait or anything like that. And again, we're almost caught up. So either way, a very fun set of chapters. I loved some of the deeper stuff that they've gotten into here. We've done that a lot in ORV, and to see some more of it here has been very cool. And in general, I think it's good. I like the characters. Like I said, more creative character designs would be cool. But Dokja was good here, as always. And we got deeper into his character with the relationship to Jungkook in the story. And I really like Selena and Iris, and honestly, just get them away from Anna, have them come join Dokja. I want Dokja's group to just keep growing and growing, and us to just have more characters. But again, it's not like we see a lot of those characters anyway. Mia is notoriously MIA. Internet Kid is nowhere to be found most of the time. Solhwa also kind of, Blood thinks she's part of the team. But either way, I guess that's it for this week. If you did like the video, comment down there to tell me what you thought of this set of chapters, my thoughts and reaction. So I hope they can join, and I hope that Skybreaking Swordmaster and Skybreaking Master both stay. I hope they stick around. I want more of them. Same thing with Mark and Eileen and Hayoung and Myunggo. I hope they all continue. Either way, like, comment, subscribe for more ORV, much more on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want. If you want a link to the Discord server, it's free and open for anyone. If you'd like to help support the channel by dropping a super thanks or sharing around, it's appreciated. If you'd like to help support the channel, get your name at the end of videos, get One Piece videos a bit early, then hit join down below to become a member. Go to patreon.com/HakuOfTheTubes, or a link will be in the description to become a patron. And thank you to people who are already members and patrons. Thank you so much to chosen regulars Evan Hawley and Bertie Wooster, Magical Girls, J.A., DD-Man, and Maru, Tiverton Student, David Langstaff, Slayer Candidates, SGN, Stan Cedar, and Pure Elements, Pate Ariel, and Elsa the Storyteller. Thank you so much for your support, so much for watching. Thank you so much, and I'll see you all next time.